Hello and welcome to this special edition of The Big Fight, coming to you from the city of Kolkata. We are here at the Dinabandhu Andrews College and we are surrounded by people on all sides. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us on this edition of The Big Fight, because we have with us four of the best known politicians in the country today, and we're going to be talking to them about politics, about coalition governments, about which nature the way politics in this country might move in, as we go forward. I'd like to welcome onto the program Jaipal Reddy. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. You're an old friend of ours. Gurudas Dasgupta of the Communist Party of India. Thank you so much for being with us. Prakash Javadekar from the BJP. Thank you for being with us on this program. And last but definitely not least, Sitaram Yechuri of the CPM. Thank you so much for coming on the Big Fight after, I have to say, after a long gap. Thank you for being with us. This is the city of Kolkata. We also have some prominent voices here representing the city of Kolkata, in addition, of course, to the audience. I'd like to welcome Kishore Bhimani onto the program. Mr. Harsh Neotia, who's one of the most prominent industrialists. Usha Uthup, maybe we're going to get you to sing a little bit for us at the end of the Big Fight. And Professor Abhirup Sarkar, one of the best-known professors of economics, everything else that we've got. Thank you so much for being with us as well. Right. Let me just dive straight in. This country has been going through a very trying period for some time. We've also heard many people coming out and protesting against politicians, against politics, against everything like that. At the same time, we've also seen, notably in Parliament, some efforts by all political parties to come together at times of national crisis. What I think we would also like to just hear from you is, which way is politics itself going to move? Is it going to change? Is coalition politics going to be here forever? Can we start seeing a coming together in times of national crisis? Mr. Jaipal Reddy, I'm going to start with you.
I, for one, would prefer one-party rule to a coalition. But we do not have a choice to make. Coalition politics has come to stay now. It will last for quite a while. Therefore, we need to develop a multi-party consensus on almost all the issues. We have a frightening global scenario with wider global tensions and disturbed conditions in neighboring countries who also harbor evil designs in India. And to this toxic cocktail, we can't afford to add any divisive communal agenda at all.
Okay. Sitaram Yechuri, Mr. Jaipal Reddy says he would prefer single-party rule. And obviously there are advantages in that. If you've got one party with a massive majority, you can go ahead and do what you think is correct without necessarily having to build a consensus. Would you agree with that?
No, in fact, I must thank Jaipal ji for giving me an opportunity to disagree with him. To disagree in the sense that, you see, coalition politics per se is not something that is to the detriment of democratic polity in our country. We have to understand the Indian reality. As Professor Amartya Sen said, all of us have multiple identities. There's probably no country in the world with a diversity as large and rich as in India. You have linguistic, you have ethnic, you have religious, you have cultural. Now, each one of these groups, it's only legitimate that they find their voice in the polity. So the process of coalition politics in India, I would say, is the process of maturation of Indian democracy. So it is not as though it is a deterrent. It's because all these different groups will have to find a voice. So coalition politics is something that is only natural in the Indian state of affairs.
You don't think it slows down decision making?
No. On the contrary, I think it enlarges the inclusivity, which is important in a democracy.